If straight-to-TV movies weren't upsetting enough, the small screen has also played host to some of the most terrifying tricks and treats in all of pop culture in series form, bringing bloody zombie terrors and intergalactic nightmares into the comfort of our own homes, in lovely bite-sized chunks. From Rod Serling's groundbreaking The Twilight Zone to the near-future horrors of Charlie Brooker's Black Mirror, fictional monsters and all-too-real ones, vampires, zombies, clowns and spiders, television has brought us the kind of devilish delights to have boys and girls of every age watching through their fingers while hiding behind the sofa. With that in mind, I'm Ash from What Culture, and this is the 10 scariest TV episodes of all time. 10. Seed. The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead rarely veers into outright horror, preferring instead to show the very human terrors of this world gone to hell. I guess people being bitten gets boring in the wake of someone getting their face bashed in by a barbed wire bat. In its season 3 premiere though, back when zombies were cool and Rick and company find the prison, it truly delivered on some terrifying undead action. The show ratchets the levels of gore right back up with this episode and does an incredible job of building tension. That particularly comes when the group go exploring the prison in almost total darkness, with zombies lurking and poor old Herschel being bitten. If your heart didn't break, you're a soulless piece of shit. It's tense, taut, and creepy as hell, with some terrific walker designs, fantastic gory moments, and seriously genuine scares from both the undead and the surprise of the living inmates. 9. Possession. Penny Dreadful. Penny Dreadful never became the big hit it once seemed destined to be, which is a shame because the show put a great new spin on a number of well-worn stories, developing some gripping new characters in the process and delivering serious chills and thrills. It had a particular skill in building up tension over a number of episodes, and then decided to unleash all of that in the penultimate instalment of its first season, Possession. The demon finally starts to come to the fore, and then all hell really breaks loose. It's a masterful performance from Eva Green, who received nowhere near enough attention for her acting and also her strangely exaggerated accent. And there are real shocks and horrifying moments throughout. As much as it's visually disturbing though, the psychological terrors of the episode are what elevate it to something truly scary. How many times do we have to be told not to make deals with the devil? 8. The Tale of Laughing in the Dark. Are you afraid of the dark? Are You Afraid of the Dark was aimed at children, and while most episodes were creepy, nothing in the series matched the nightmare-inducing terror of Zeebo the Clown. Clowns are well suited to being turned into scary stories, as we've seen with Stephen King's It, and the look of Zeebo alone is enough to strike fear into the hearts of viewers. The episode begins by setting the scene, taking place in a carnival. Zeebo was played by a worker who died in the funhouse back in the 1920s, and has haunted the place ever since. The kids steal his notes, it's scarier than it sounds, and in return he leaves them balloons, makes phone calls and whispers to them in the pitch black, all with a highly sinister laugh that sends chills straight through you. It might not seem as bad as an adult, but it'll dredge up some awful memories, and there's enough of a spooky atmosphere and haunting creature design to leave an indelible impression, no matter how hard you try to forget. 7. Halloween. American Horror Story. American Horror Story has had plenty of moments that live up to its title, though it veers more into the grotesque than it does the genuinely terrifying. That being said, sex parties, rubber gimp suits and torture porn might be what you look for in a TV show, and that's totally fine, right guys? The first season of the infamous horror show delivered more overtly on the scary moments, and fittingly, its biggest scares came during its 2-part Halloween episode. Halloween is a time in American Horror Story when ghosts roam free, and both parts of this episode are crawling with them. The rubber man, who is, a rubber man, returns to stalk the characters and haunt viewers too, and this is the episode where the series really started turning the dial up on its insanity. It's crazy, creepy, and will have you on the edge of your seat, ready to dive behind the sofa. Or get your custom-made leather ski mask and some Vaseline out, whatever. 6. The House That Bled to Death. Hammer House of Horror. Hammer Film Productions are one of the most influential horror studios of all time, so of course a TV show created by the outfit would produce one of the medium's scariest episodes. In typical murder house style, it begins with a family moving into a house where people were brutally killed. And then the shit really hits the fan. Well, it's more blood really. A house that leaks shit would be equally terrifying though. It's a superb take on the form, forcing the family into fleeing for their lives from all kinds of terror. But it's really taken to a whole other level of gore and bloodshed with the children's party scene. Blood rains down on the guests in a world away from the BLED vampire party, and the title makes a whole lot more sense. 5. The Empty Child, Doctor Who. Are you my mummy? 4 words is all it takes to send shivers down the spine of any new Who fan. While Blink may get most of the attention for the show's scares, the weeping angels are nothing compared to these ghostly gas mask kids wondering just where their mother has got to. Like many of the best and scariest Doctor Who episodes, it plays on our innate fears, and does so with a real mesh of genre tropes from the creepy child to the gas mask and ghosts. It expertly builds the tension through its war-torn London setting and the way the child follows Nancy everywhere, from phones ringing when they shouldn't be, typewriters typing without anyone touching them, and a tape recording playing long after the tape has run out. The child stalks Nancy and the fear stalks us, never once letting up. 4. Hush, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. When you're scared of something, one of the most natural reactions is to scream. It's a raw, visceral reaction to convey terror, and the genius of Hush is that it robs the characters of it. Even though it's almost entirely silent, this is one of the best written episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and undoubtedly its most purely terrifying. The creature design for the gentleman is suitably creepy, and even more troubling once the physical performance of Doug Jones is added in. In 90s TV nostalgia, no one can hear you scream. 3. Home, The X-Files. Another show that was often eerie without going full-on horror, Home marked one of the X-Files' more controversial installments, and its most horrific. The subject matter of the episode alone is unsettling, with Mulder and Scully called to investigate the death of an infant with a birth defect, and meet a family of farmers who are all similarly disfigured and don't leave their home. The Peacock family are a group of killers, and the episode gets so disturbing and violent that a viewer discretion warning was put in front of it, and Fox didn't include it in syndication for years. It's visceral, brutal, and watching the redneck torture family commit their atrocities is completely terrifying. 2. Eye of the Beholder, The Twilight Zone. When it comes to horror on TV, it'd be remiss not to mention The Twilight Zone, which remains one of the most influential horror series of all time. It had a number of genuinely scary episodes that hold up even now, but just edging it is Eye of the Beholder. A woman undergoes one final surgery to alter her supposedly disfigured face, which is hidden by bandages throughout the episode. All the while we're told she is too ugly to fit in, and will be outcast to a village of similarly disfigured people if this doesn't succeed. My mom said the same thing to me. It's a shot featuring a number of silhouettes to keep us in the dark as to what's actually happening, and builds to the reveal that she is perfectly normal looking. Everyone else, however, considers her deformed, when in truth, it's they who are disfigured. It's a horrifying twist and begets a sequence through the hospital that is not only spooky but offers a haunting critique on society's standards of appearances and innate prejudices. 1. Lonely Souls, Twin Peaks. Few creations in TV history have instilled the sheer levels of dread that Killer Bob achieves in his sporadic appearances across Twin Peaks' original run. Every time he appeared was a horror, but it all came to a terrifying crescendo in Lonely Souls. This is where the true extent of Bob is revealed, that he's a being of pure evil, with a malevolence almost difficult to comprehend. Just the sight of him in this episode is enough to make your skin crawl. The sequence where he dances with Maddie is some of David Lynch's most frightening, visually disturbing work to date, and that's saying something. He creates a moment of such unease and terror that it's impossible to look away, no matter how desperately you want to. A payoff almost worth traversing Lynch's dark imagination for. Those are What Culture's scariest TV episodes of all time. Which TV episodes did we miss? Share your thoughts down in the comments section below. I've been Ash, and you should make sure to subscribe to the What Culture YouTube channel for more lists like this. And don't forget to visit whatculture.com for daily news and articles. Thanks for watching.
Hello, you made it all the way to the end of the video. Aren't you good? While you're here, we have other channels that are probably also quite nice, so why not give one of those a little watch? You never know, you might find something you like. Or, who knows, I might be there as well. Ooh, spooky.